Did you know that Eastern Washington had landscapes like this? Ooh, that's a tight squeeze. We don't have a spare tube on a 300-mile bikepacking trip, Soup. Premium? Yeah. This bicycle takes premium only. Oh no! Go for it. No. Keep pedaling.
This one's not rusted.
Well, yeah, there's one link that's not rusted here.
Yeah, just put some spit on it, some spit shine.
It's its own world, Eastern Washington. So we just hold our breath, I guess. It's just manure. What do you think, Squeaks? Are we ready to go bikepacking? Why are we in this parking lot, I wonder? What's here, Soup? What's going on?
We are almost ready to go bikepacking, Sparks. So I'm Soup. I'm normally behind the camera, but today we are giving my bike some love. We're at Sharing Wheels in Everett, Washington. So we're in the beautiful sunny state of Washington, and we are going to bike across the entire state tomorrow, and we're going to Idaho. And here's the deal, it's 300 miles. I've never been on a bikepacking trip in my life. So Sparks is gonna show me how to do it, but he insists that I need a couple things for my bike before I'm really ready to ship out. So let's take a look, bro. All right, bro, give it to me straight. How's it looking?
I mean, I think even Squeaks could tell you what's going on with this bike.
What's going on with it, bro?
It's not ready.
I couldn't cross the state of Washington as it is right now?
Not today, maybe tomorrow. It'll do, but I can see right off the jump, Sue, you only have one gear. Your bike cannot shift at all.
Yeah, it's a fixie.
It's not a fixie.
This is a fixie, bro.
It's a fixie upper.
Touche. Touche. How's that chain looking?
The chain is probably fine. We can use a chain wear tool here and
This one's not rusted.
Well, yeah, there's one link that's not rusted here.
Yeah, just put some spit on it, some spit shine.
We can check with a chain wear tool, which I'm sure they have here, to see if you need a new chain. But I think the motor is going to be doing most of your work anyway, Sue.
Uh-huh.
That doesn't look really comfortable for a 300-mile bike ride.
What is that?
That's just a chunk of steel or maybe aluminum sticking out there. And that does not look very comfortable, I would say. Not very ergonomic.
Uh-huh.
So, oh yeah, you don't have one on the other side either. So we need some grips. That's a must-have.
Hey, bro, all right. Hey, man, I distinctly remember this bike from an episode. Did you...
That episode was I fixed my friend's e-bike after an accident.
After it was crushed, right? Yeah, it's up there. Yo, it's right next to that autumnus tree. So this isn't just a 300-mile bike ride. This is a bikepacking trip. And so we're gonna need to bring a lot of extra things with us. We're gonna bring an extra battery, which is pretty heavy. We're gonna bring some food along with us. We do have some camera gear and some other accoutrements and mise-en-scène, just so we're comfortable.
Accoutrement and mise-en-scène. I'm gonna accoutrement and mise-en-scène. By that you mean a tent, a sleeping bag, maybe an extra pair of socks. It is October in Washington, mid-October in Washington, and not only do we need some accoutrement, but we also need tent, sleeping bag. I wouldn't call it much of a bikepacking trip if you didn't have a tent and a sleeping bag, unless it was very warm, maybe a nice pair of comfy overalls or something like that you could sleep in, but probably need a tent and a sleeping bag. We've also got this little guy. So we need to carry Squeaks dog food and dog accoutrement.
Squeaks is also a huge fan of soccer, And soccer balls take up a lot of space. So we're gonna put those in the bike trailer too, just so Squeaks has everything that he needs to stay entertained on this long trip.
Soup, I don't think it's a bike packing bike without a frame bag. That's what everybody says on YouTube, everybody says on the internet, is get a frame bag. If you don't have a frame bag, you're not a bike commuter, you're not a bike tourist.
That's actually really true. That's a great take. The reason why I live in my vehicle is because I spent all my money on custom frame bags. And so now I have no money. And
oh man!
Now I'm crossing the entire state of Washington in the hopes to get a little bit of ad revenue.
I think if you were to fit a frame bag on this bike, it wouldn't hold very much storage.
Well, I think we do have a spot for a frame bag in between these two bars here.
Right.
If I did want to bring some number 2 pencils, I'd be able to do that, and I could journal and maybe carry my notebook with Squeaks treats in the bike trailer.
So we don't need a frame bag to be a bike tourist. There's other cargo solutions. We're gonna look for a trailer, panniers, things like that, and I think we'll be able to fit everything if we have a couple bike trailers, right, Sue?
Bro, you get it. So like, you do not need to spend a lot of money on brand new gear to get into bike packing. So there's a lot of resources available. We're about to step into a community-based organization. It's called Sharing Wheels in Everett, Washington, and they're gonna hook us up with a couple items that we need. We're gonna get some storage options like some panniers, AKA paninis. And we're also gonna get a bike trailer.
Great to be at a fully stocked bike shop here at Sharing Wheels, right, Sue?
I guess, bro. Do I really have to get these?
Oh, I think you could go with a different color. I do like hot pink. So, Soup, here's our first tool. What is that? That's a chain wear tool.
A chain wear? My chain is right there. I know where it is.
Yeah, so the chain wear tool will tell you how much wear is left on your chain and when you need to replace it.
Or just don't replace it.
Let's see. Maybe we won't. So according to this chain wear tool, we still have a little bit of chain wear left. And this e-bike is actually a style which doesn't go through the chain anyway to drive the motor. So the motor, whenever that's doing work, it doesn't need to drive the chain anyway. So I think all this chain needs for our trip across Washington is just some chain oil. Thanks.
Yeah, just save the money on a new chain because you're gonna get a new chain with that group set anyway, and just let it chew itself up.
Just write it out.
Yeah, because the motor's gonna do a lot, so it depends on how you ride. Because I've certainly lived along it.
It's definitely this.
So we've gone through the safety checklist, and now that Soup's chain is going to be all oiled up and it shifts nice and smooth, then the most important thing is going to be his handlebar grips. Comfortable grips are super important on any bike. It's a touch point that you're going to be in contact with almost the whole bike ride. So for Soup, there's also a special consideration. His bike is special in that there's a throttle on the right-hand side, and so he's going to need just a half grip, so not all grips are the same length. These ones are going to be way too long.
What is that for, bro?
I think this would be a track bike grip.
It looks like a jump rope.
I think a very small jump rope. Or a track grip. So this is a nice ergonomic one. This would be for, looks like the left hand. And we need a half grip for the right hand too.
Ergonomic means like not uncomfortable.
Ooh, that's a half grip. What do you think, Sue? They don't match perfectly, but if we can get it on there, that's a half grip that'll fit on the throttle for the e-bike and be a lot more comfortable than it is right now. Notice a difference between the ends of these two grips, Sue?
Yeah, this one is see-through, so translucent, and you can use it like what's a monocular? Is that like a real?
Monocle or a sight glass? I'm kind of getting some pirate vibes.
Well, I thought a monocle is like that flat glass thing that like the peanut guy or like any dastardly person is rocking.
Well, these are pretty dastardly because if you don't have a bar and plug on the end of your handlebars, then actually this steel tube or these metal handlebars can be sharp and actually injure you in a crash. So that's why they put these plugs on the end of these. The cool thing about this Palouse to Cascades trail is actually it's a rail-to-trail conversion. So this used to be a railroad track, and usually when they pick the railroad track route, they pick the flattest possible route because the trains can't go up super steep like that.
And they basically like repurpose these trails and they make it accessible to bikes, horseback. We can bring dogs. On leash, off leash. What's the sitch?
One is allowed on a leash. Four-legged one allowed on a leash. And if you actually think about it, what's another name for the Palouse to Cascades trail, Soup?
Oh, the Iron Horse Trail?
Iron Horse Trail. And why would you call it an Iron Horse Trail? What's an Iron Horse?
A train?
An Iron Horse is a train.
All right, bro. Real talk.
Okay.
My
was all
first,
true.
yeah, but like
Okay.
real talk.
Okay.
For my first bikepacking trip, is this not kind of crazy to go across an entire state?
So not only is this Soup's first bikepacking trip, but it's also Squeak's first bikepacking trip. And this trail is a great way to get started bikepacking because it used to be a railroad, so it's nice and flat, almost completely flat through the whole state. There are some mountain passes where you go down a couple thousand feet and up a couple thousand feet, but for a 300-mile route, there's no cars on the road. There's no crazy switchbacks like a mountain bike single track trail. We've got a unique setup. You don't need anything too fancy to go bikepacking. In fact, you might even look at our gear and say it looks kind of funny. So I think a lot of people out there wonder, can I ride this e-bike on a bikepacking trip? And it's a great question because if we're going to cross the state of Washington, 300-mile trail, I don't think there's any power outlets to charge our e-bike in, right? So we had to get a little creative. And that's where Jenny comes in. We love you, Jenny. You're gonna do us good, you're gonna help us out. So what we actually have is 2 e-bike batteries, 2 chargers, and there's 2 power outlets on this little mini generator. So we're actually gonna run this generator at the end of the day to recharge Soup's e-bike batteries. This is my bike. This is Squeak's trailer. We've got our tent, sleeping bag, plenty of food. This setup is gonna work really well because this is a nice flat trail and I don't have to drag this trailer over any giant rocks or boulders or any rough terrain like that. It's gonna be pretty nice and smooth the whole way. Some things I've done that are gonna help us out are I installed this rear fender on this bike so that if Squeaks is riding in the trailer, then I don't splash up mud and water in his face. This trailers are really handy. As you can see, we've got plenty of gear here, and this is a dog trailer for Squeaks. So I've got this all set up for Squeaks. I've got some nice wool blankets and sleeping bags for him to lay on. We'll see if he starts to like it. He just needs a little motivation. Giddy up. Well, he giddy up enough to get the treat, but not all the way in yet. Maybe when he's tired later, he'll go all the way in. We'll see.
Okay, bro. So we were at Trestle Coffee this morning in downtown Tekoa. Pronounced Tekoa. That's how the locals say it.
That's how the locals say it.
I would have said Tekoa, so I'm glad we got that coffee.
And there's a refrigerator laying down at the bottom of the gully. It wasn't a bike camper. I'm sorry.
Because of what we did, we went across the trail. We came across the state. I took videos of most of it, all of the bad spots, all of the rocks, all of the weeds, and brought it to the attention of the legislatures and to the Parks Department.
We're all going to be able to cross on our bicycles with our bike trailers and with our four-legged one today, and we wouldn't be able to do that without the friends of the Tekoa Trestle. Thank you, Fred. Thank you, friends of the Tekoa Trestle. Let's hit the road. It is pretty chilly to be riding the Palouse to Cascades trail in mid-October, but there's one advantage to riding in the fall, and that is that we've got these beautiful fresh apples along the trail. There's so many apple trees along this trail because this used to be a railroad, and people would throw the seeds out and throw the pits out, and now here we are 100 years later, and this entire trail has all-you-can-eat buffet. Squeaks likes apples.
Do you like apples?
That's a big one, but yeah, he can.
Oh my gosh.
Is that a good one? I'll get one. The fresh ones are always the best, these natural wild apples.
When Sparks asked me if I wanted to go on a bike packing trip with him across the state of Washington, I said for sure. But now that we're here, I think I might have bitten off a little more than I can chew. This trailer is stuffed, it's super heavy. I've got 3 different size wheels here, and it is chilly. I just asked myself, guy up there, if I'm doing the right thing, please, just show me a sign.
Hey, there's your sign, Soup. Did you look what's right above you?
Unbelievable, bro. Unbelievable. So there's been so many times on this expedition where I've wondered, am I on the right path? Am I in the right place in my journey? And then I'll see things like this, and it's really like touching. It's like really awesome. If you do decide to go out and venture into the great unknown, you might find that some places might even be named after you. And that's pretty cool. It's like you've been there already.
Squeaks is having a great time right now, but there is going to be a section where the trail is actually closed for about 20 miles, and we're going to need to be on surface streets and paved roads shared with cars. And so Squeaks is going to need to ride in the trailer at that point. I think that being in the trailer for a little bit of time and hopefully getting used to it, it's important for him to need to do things that are difficult, like be in that trailer. It's really not the end of the world for him. And that's what allows him to do these big outdoor adventures and run all this way and hike all this way and go bike packing with us. Our first night camping, we didn't make it too far because we left in the afternoon. Squeaks has found a nice spot to chew his treat. Go boy! Oh, who's that little tail wagger? Go boy, go boy, go boy! He made a lot of distance today. He covered a lot of ground on his own 4 legs. I didn't actually pull him in the trailer at all. So he's very hungry. But I don't think he can keep up the pace because we're going to do more like 30 or 40 hopefully tomorrow. And that's probably going to be too much for him, so he's going to have to go use that trailer. Soup's got his camp set up over there. Squeaks and I over here. It's a beautiful night. Gonna have some dinner and have an early start tomorrow. It's freezing cold this morning, and Squeaks got in the trailer all by himself without me asking at all. Maybe because it's warm and cuddly in there with his blankets. Maybe
There's a fireplace in there, bro.
he also smells food. Oh, it's the soccer ball.
Is that your favorite
That's
thing?
why he went in there.
Soccer, bud.
That was funny. He found that soccer ball. He likes soccer more than food sometimes. And it is cold and frosty on our first night. We got all iced over. Our tent's icy, all our gear frosty. Even Soup's beard is icy. Soup, your beard has melted. Mr. Ice Beard. Now it's just like,
Boogers.
oh.
Just boogers, bro.
Where are we, Soup?
Rosalia?
Rosalia.
Rosalie.
Not pronounced, so it's probably Rosalia.
Rosalia.
Who knows? We'll ask a local. We were told by the very nice cafe hostess here that we are probably the last bicycle tourists of the season. We haven't seen any more. I don't blame them. It's icy. There was a storm last week. There's going to be a storm next week. We still got frost on our gear despite riding in the sun for about an hour. But it's a beautiful morning in Rosalia.
Coffee.
We got coffee. So we got $1 coffee, a $1 coffee, and it's not bad. It's really not bad. Only problem is the next 20 miles or so, there are actually trail closures, so we're gonna have to be on surface streets, and that means Squeaks is gonna be in a trailer for a long time. We're going to have to give him lots of love and attention and positive affection, and maybe treats. You want some treats, buddy?
Yeah, but...
I'm very thankful for the very official looking unofficial site, which I'm gonna link here. And that's because it had ride with GPS routes for this Palouse to Cascades trail, and it notified us of detours. And every foot counts right now because we got Squeaks in the back. He is quite difficult to haul up a hill, even if it's probably only less than 5% grade. Whew. I've never hauled this much gear on my bike with about a 65-pound dog and a bunch of other backpacking gear for this trip. Woo-wee, this detour has some hills. I think maybe the steepest hills of the whole trip. They're not too crazy of hills for if you're an experienced bike packer, but for this otherwise very flat route, this is the steepest section here. I'm worried about Soup. It's his first bikepacking trip and we've done about 50 miles so far. For all I know, he might be struggling. I'm gonna check in on him, see how he's doing, make sure he's okay.
Bro, this is so easy! I'll see you in Seattle!
I guess he's doing okay.
So, if we do 20 miles a day, every day, for 300 miles, it's gonna be 15 days. So, a little more than 2 weeks. We should probably step it up, huh?
I think we need to go more than 20 miles a day.
All right, where are we trying to get today, bro?
I think actually off the map. I want to get to St. John and past St. John where the trail opens back up. It's currently closed.
So past all of this.
Past all of that.
Okay, we're on the trail and we came up to an obstacle here. The game is, are you smarter than a cow? So let's see if I can figure this out here. Easy, easy money, easy. All right, I'm smarter than a cow, yeah. Okay, let's go hold this open for sparks. Come on through, boys. Good job, Squeaks. Oh, brother, it's tight. You think you can make that? You got it. Careful. Tight.
Tight fit. That's a tight squeeze.
Well, you shouldn't have gotten the XL, man. I would have gotten a Chihuahua instead of a cattle dog.
I do have 2 wheels on that trailer, so that's why they built it with 2, just in case one gets destroyed by the game.
All right, brother.
Come on through.
Do I have to? I'm really caked, bro. We've done how many miles? Like
Well,
40, 50?
Probably about 10% of the way done. No, maybe less than that. But we're driving through this really cool canyon cut between the rock now. I can imagine that decades ago, maybe there weren't even these trees here. So it's beautiful in the fall. These trees have grown into their fall colors and kind of reclaimed this railroad track, what was once a railroad track. A really great thing about bikepacking with a buddy is you can draft. It doesn't help as much on dirt and gravel and off-road, but since we're on a paved road, I'm right here behind Soup. Not too close, I don't want to crash into him. And he's saving me a lot of energy because he's cutting the wind for me and I'm drafting him. It's actually a big relief. His motor's helping us both out in this case because his motor's pulling us along. I'm drafting him without any motor on my bike, and it's saving me a lot of energy on this pavement. Thank you, Soup. Got it, bro. We've got a big hill ahead of us. Squeaks is hanging in there in the trailer. And what are we doing for the e-bike, Soup?
We are switching out the battery sparks because this one's got no spark in it left. We've done 27 miles today in 3 hours, and in that time I've completely depleted the first battery. We've got at least one more steep one ahead.
That's a big one. It doesn't look like it from here, but for us, on these whole big heavy loads of gear we got, it's a big climb.
That's right, brother. So, luckily, I've got a spare battery that's in the back, and we charged that up with Jenny last night.
Thank you, Jenny.
Yeah, Jenny's a generator, sorry. Out of context, that might sound funny, but we charged it up last night with a gas-powered generator.
So far, Soup, it seems like it's feasible to ride an e-bike on this trail.
I mean, we jumped through some hoops to get this going, but it hasn't been that crazy so far.
It's a hybrid.
Yeah, this is exactly like a Prius. It's gas-powered and electric-powered.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I've got something that weighs just about as much as Jenny. His name is Squeaks. And I know how tough this is. Soup's way ahead of me on these climbs. This e-bike really comes in handy. And even though I ride my bike all the time and practice climbing hills all the time, when you've got these heavy loads on these hills, the motor comes in big handy.
I hope we can put in another 25 miles at least.
Yeah.
And get to the next town called Lind. And yeah, here we go.
All right, let's go. Right, Squeaky?
Let's climb, bro.
Yeah, boy.
Be a deal breaker here. Okay.
What'd you run into, Soup? A hokey pokey?
A super pokey, bro.
Looks like a thistle.
Yeah. I need to pull these out very carefully because I do not have the proper size fat tire inner tube for this bike.
We don't have a spare tube on a 300-mile bikepacking trip, Soup.
I'm sorry, I packed a lot of things and I've never packed this much before, and I did forget to bring a spare fat tire tube. So
just a tip, if you're going on a bikepacking trip, bring a spare tube and be careful with those thistles. You want to borrow a pair of gloves, Soup?
Oh, you got gloves?
First crossing, I didn't know we were going to have one on this trail, but since there is a detour and we have to go around, then here we go. We're going to have to go through this creek to get back on the road. Ready, Sue? You going to ride it?
No, bro. Where's the line?
I'm going to pedal through. Keep pedaling. Keep pedaling. Keep pedaling.
Let's go. Almost.
Good job.
Oh, buddy.
All right, let's keep moving. Did you know that Eastern Washington had landscapes like this? He doesn't mind the trailer because it's freezing cold this morning. Soup's warming up.
Let's go, bro.
We got another frosty night. I would say at least as frosty as yesterday, actually probably quite a bit colder. All our water froze. But Squeaks, he doesn't mind the trailer too much because it's nice and cozy. He's got all his little bags in there. He's got all his sleeping bags and his wool felt mats. And we're ready to roll. What time is it, Soup?
It is 7:24 in 15 seconds. We are 15 seconds late, bro. Let's go. Let's go.
All right, let's hit the road. Heading west.
All right, bro. This one just opened.
This one had no luck.
Sweet.
How many gates is this, Soup? How many gates has this been, Soup?
Bro, like at least 15. The thing about these gates on the Palouse to Cascade Trail is there's no gatekeepers. So if you start packing today, you could probably be doing this tomorrow.
We're here at Cow Creek, and because that trestle's closed, we got to ride through this really fun terrain here. Check it out. Some pretty tall grass. The trailer's having fun. The trailer's having a little roller coaster ride. Just come through the Cow Creek section. What's it called,
You're
David?
right in the middle of the Cow Creek crossing.
Cow Creek Crossing,
Yeah.
which is a kind of somewhat official crossing through the Palouse to Cascades Trail right now.
Yeah, it's private property that we've opened up to allow people to get through here so they don't have to do a big detour through Ritzville.
Thank you so much.
A lot of collaboration and cooperation to get this whole thing going.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I see some bugs swimming in it, little water boatmen, so can't be too bad. It's some good well water here, and I'd call this an oasis if I've ever been to one. What do we got all around us, Sue? We're in a desert. And Squeaks went right for the pool. Who's that little pool drinker? Woo, drink, puppy. We've just ridden through a beautiful section of Washington between Ralston and Lind, and Soup's batteries are just about done for. He's only got a half a bar on one, so he's had to pedal with no motor and no electric assist at all for the last 10 miles or so. Thankfully, it was mostly downhill. Let's catch up to Soup here in front of me. I got Squeaks behind me, who's not super happy. You can hear him yelping. Sorry, boy. Let's catch up to Soup here ahead of me, see how he's doing. How many batteries you got, Soup?
0 batteries.
0 batteries.
What is this, like a pre-1980s bicycle?
Whose?
This one, before
Oh,
they
yeah.
all had batteries.
That's an acoustic bicycle.
That's right, yeah. I'm on the acoustic version. This is Squeaks and Sparks Unplugged. And Squeaky Guy has a song to sing. I think we're going pretty fast and he's not used to pavement.
Pedal, Soup, pedal! Almost hit town. So we just hold our breath, I guess. It's just manure. It's the only way! Woo-wee! How you doing, Squeak? There's some busy county highways south of Warden, Washington, but out here I think we finally found a road that we're probably not going to encounter many cars on our way to Othello. It's used about 3/4 of a gallon in 100 miles. So it's about 150 miles per gallon.
The Iron Horse Trail really is a choose your own adventure. There's been times where we've hopped off the trail, we've hit some fresh pavement, And we covered a lot of ground quickly, running parallel to the trail. And then we hopped back onto this chunky gravel. Right now we're approaching the Columbia River. This is a huge landmark in our trip, and I'm really motivated right now. This feels really good to know we made it this far. We made it. We are at the Columbia River. It just started raining, and we are trying to find a place to camp for the night. We're probably gonna call it an early night and get set up before it gets dark, but we are what, 2/3 of the way through, halfway? Where are we at?
Yeah, we're about 2/3, 180 miles in, about 110 to go.
Yes. Yes, and we're doing pretty good here. Our gear is holding up. We got it all covered and bundled. What do you think, Squeaky Guy?
That's it. Not all the way. We're not completely finished, but we're at the Columbia River. And when we're riding from east to west on this trail, I feel like Eastern Washington is behind us. Eastern Washington was new to me. I didn't know what it was, but Eastern Washington was its own world. Eastern Washington was a high desert, and it had a natural beauty that I think rivals a lot of other Western states. If you look at the footage we have, and if you look at where we went on this trail, where Squeaks was running around and we were riding, it was like an old railroad trail. It really was an old railroad trail cut through the cliffside in between the canyons, and there's tumbleweeds, there's coyotes, there's cattle free range everywhere roaming around. So we had our Wild West adventure. We're making our Western movie out here with our cattle dog, right, Squeaks?
We're crossing the Columbia River right now. We're breaking into Western Washington. So this is a really big deal on our journey. This is the Beverly Bridge. This used to be an old railway line. It was built over 100 years ago, so way before e-bikes were invented. But it's really a beautiful experience. We're gliding across the water right now. We'll be setting up camp soon. We're almost there. It's about a mile away. We're gonna have a nice dinner all together and pack it up early, put in some miles tomorrow. We're at a little stopping point called New Doris. This is a place where we can get some water. We can use the restrooms. As you can see, they have plentiful porta potty options. They are horizontal, and so I never really learned that.
Right now we're filling up water, as you can see here. Just your normal average drinking fountain. And you should know, if you're gonna do the Iron Horse Trail, that there's only one water station between Kittitas and the Columbia River. That's this New Doris potable water station here. It's pretty funny and unique. There's a special procedure to operate this pump, and this valve to open this hose here is really tough. I had to use all my might, so if you want to fill up water here, good luck.
Hey bro, it says open house.
Open hose, and my goodness, is it a tough hose to open, honestly. I'll go ahead and show you. Ready? So you gotta push the button, the pump turns on, and then you gotta come over here. And you gotta be strong in order to open this real big valve over here. This big valve? I mean, this took all my might. Open the valve. The water starts coming out. There we go. Okay. Okay.
This is one of the few places where I've seen outlets actually on the trail. And unfortunately, there's no power. So the way I've been powering this e-bike along this trek has been with this gas generator. Right now we're taking a break at New Doris, and we're taking this as an opportunity to top up the batteries. We have a ton of climbing today, which totally kills the range on the battery. So we want to make sure we start at 100%. Okay, bro, let's do it.
So the section ahead of me here, just west of Doris, is a clear-cut section through a rock canyon. It's really striking, and you can imagine the old rail car just barely fitting through. And we've also got some rock fall here. Make sure we watch out for that. Quite the adventure. We've got gusts here that I would say have got to be over 35 miles an hour, pretty much a direct headwind, and we're going uphill. It's 1,700 feet of climbing in 17 miles, which isn't that steep, but with all this gear it is. I can't even pedal anymore, and I can barely even push the bike. So Soup, what's going on?
I'm going to take off some of that burden, brother. I'm going to take something off of your shoulders. This is a direct headwind, so I've almost gotten blown off. A couple times with the wind cut sideways. It's a lot to go through, so I'm going to take the paninis. I'm going to take this tent set up here. That's probably going to be 20 pounds. What do you think?
Yeah, 20 pounds.
Probably 20 pounds lighter for Sparks. I've got an e-bike, so I'm going to run my power assist up another level. That's going to burn the battery faster, but it's worth it. This is teamwork.
You're looking like Santa Claus over there.
Why? Because this is a gift?
It is a gift, and also it's a sleigh full of all these special things.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
And we could have Squeaks be Rudolph, pull the wagon, huh? We've been on the road for 6 days, and Squeaks is now pretty thankful for actually a real nice bed indoors. We booked a hotel room here in Ellensburg, and this feels like a really well-deserved break. Squeaks ran so many miles and miles and miles for 6 days in a row, and he also keeps watch at night from the coyotes. He loves working and he loves being out there, but he also knows it's time for a rest. You might have just heard a little squeaky squeak. Good job, Squeaks. You deserve that bed to sleep in.
Hey, bud. What's up, squeaky guy? What's up, buddy? What's up, buddy?
We'll be in some cool historic areas of Ellensburg today. Taking a rest day for Squeaks and us both.
We need it. The boys are caked.
I don't know if we're ever going to get out of here. Well, we got to check out.
We do actually. Hold on.
Clock's running.
We got 6 minutes to get out of here, bud.
Bikes are packed.
Hey, hey. Ho, ho. These long hairs have got to go.
Hey, hey. Ho, ho. The squeaky one has legs of four. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Yeah, they're playing, having fun. They're two herding dogs. It looks like they're just having fun playing.
We're absolutely caked after day 6 of our cross-state trek. We faced 47-mile-an-hour headwinds. We climbed over 2,000 feet, and there were literally rock slides along the way. Right now, on this 7th day, we're taking a day of rest here in Ellensburg.
Squeaks really deserves his day of rest too. He's been running many miles every single day. And not only that, but at night he's on guard duty all night.
That's right. We have coyotes circling our campsites every single night. They sing to each other and they let us know that they're there. It could be 2 in the morning and all of a sudden you hear some rustling and Squeak starts growling. So he lets us know that they're there, but he is working a lot during the day and he's working at night too.
So Soup, we've got the majority of the trip behind us now. We had a huge day yesterday coming out of the Columbia River. And I want to ask you, Soup, what do you think about bike packing? What have you learned? And is there any takeaways you have so far from bike packing?
Clearly, we did it in a way that's maybe not the most typical intro to bike packing.
What do you mean by that, Soup?
Well, I mean, we've got this gas-powered generator here, and we're loaded up with gear. So we've got a bike trailer, and we're also on an e-bike. And with no disrespect to the manufacturer, because this bike has really served me well over the years, this bike is clapped out. It's got 2 batteries, it's got several thousand miles on it. Both the chargers even are in precarious condition. There's wires, red wires, blue wires exposed, and yeah, this bike is on its last leg, and we're also on the couple last legs of this journey. We've covered a lot of ground, and I'm truly impressed with this bike. I'm really, I'm just really thankful that it's really gotten us this far, because I really thought this could be a deal breaker. If the batteries failed or anything like that, we would have had to cancel the trip. So,
what are some of your favorite features of this build as we have it?
brother, great question. I love a lot of things about this bike. First things first, from the top, these bar mitts are amazing. So every morning it's been icy, it's late October, the ground is frozen over at our campsites, and I just slide my hands into these bar mitts with some gloves in the morning, and it's just awesome. I have full control over my hands, I can hit the brakes, I can hit the shifters.
So these brands, as you can see here, are called bar mitts. There's a lot of different manufacturers of these. Like Soup mentioned, these ones are neoprene. There's even a brand of these that are made in the US, not these, but there's some others. And everybody who sees those says, wow, that is a cool idea. I wish I had those on my bike. And in fact, in my experience, sometimes it's so difficult to keep your hands warm on a touring bike ride or even on any bike ride. Your hands and your toes are the first thing to go cold. And any pair of gloves, it cannot keep your hands warm if it's really cold. That's my experience. Even mittens can't keep your hands warm. But with these, I can even be riding in the rain and in the cold rain, and I don't have gloves on at all. I've got all the controls under there, and my hands are perfectly warm.
A second thing that I love about this build is this bike trailer here. I never thought I'd be towing a bike trailer, especially not a kid's trailer, when I don't have kids. I am an uncle to this squeaky guy though, and that's pretty close. It's very fulfilling. Thanks, bud. This trailer is really appropriate for this trip. It feels like we're on this pioneer trail. Sometimes I'll look at Sparks if I'm riding behind and I'll look at the trailer and I'll think, wow, these are like these covered wagons. And it feels like we're really traversing this kind of tough terrain. These are really small tires. We go over rocks that are about this big and it just chugs along. So this trailer I feel like is really in the spirits of this whole Palouse to Cascade trail, this Iron Horse trail. I'm new to bike packing, so I don't necessarily know what's normal in bike packing, what are the customs, but I imagine that people want to pack ultra light. And it's kind of funny because in this build, I actually didn't have to pack all that light. I packed way too much gear. We just picked up a ton of food, and yeah, I can basically bring everything with me. So this little chariot here has really served us well.
You know, I think there's one more thing I want to point out on your bike, Soup. It's actually right behind you. And it's the fat tire on the back of this bicycle. I personally was already a really avid bicyclist when fat tires started becoming a thing. And a lot of sort of bicycle purists thought that fat tires were, you know, not necessary. Like, oh, this is just too heavy, too much weight, what's the point? And this fat tire has really proven itself to be the backbone of this whole trip. It's hauling this whole trailer with all this weight. Sometimes we put even more weight on the trailer than that. And it goes over all these different surfaces, all these different terrains, mud, gravel, water, rough rocks even, no problem, and it's not put up any fuss. No flat tires on that tire, and it also hasn't lost traction, I don't think, a single time.
Yeah, brother, this is like an unsung hero of the build for sure. This was a last second addition, the tire itself. It's slightly wider than the tire I had initially, but it's nice because it's brand new. It's got a ton of tread. It was in excellent condition. It's one of the few things on the bike that was in excellent condition when we left. I do have 3 different size tires. I've got 16-inch, this a 20-inch, and up front a 26-inch. And so to have this kind of middle ground here that's really chonky, I think it really holds a balance in the whole build. So Sparks, that's a great point, brother.
And if you want to see the story of how this bike ended up with 3 different size tires, which is a really fun story, we're going to put a link below in the description, and you can watch I fixed my friend's e-bike and made it better than ever. I don't remember, that wasn't the title, but
I rebuilt it. Yeah.
I rebuilt my friend's e-bike, and we're going to put a link to the really awesome video called I Rebuilt My Friend's E-Bike in the description. Should check out that video as well. This bike has a real history, and it's awesome that Soup's taken it across the whole state of Washington after what it's been through.
Thank you, brother. This bike was actually in a car accident about 2 years ago, and Sparks actually rebuilt this bike. In an earlier episode, we cover it. So if you want to check that episode out, it's got maybe like a couple hundred views, but it's a total banger. It goes in movements, and you can watch how Sparks brings this bike from post-accident, it's in 3 pieces, to assembling a very unique bike build. I haven't seen any bike like this ever, and it does get lots of compliments. You get a sideways glance first, and then you get a, hey man, nice rig. So thank you very much, Sparks. I really appreciate you putting this bike together, and I didn't think this is what we'd be doing with it.
It's amazing that it's come to this far. After that night you called me and said, hey, my bike...
Brother, I did call you.
You called me and you said, my bike got ran over by a car. Can you come help me? And Soup was okay, and we'll show you the story in the other video, but...
That's so funny. We had just met each other.
Right.
Yeah, I got into that accident. It was right before Halloween, and we had just met each other, and I called you because I was in a bind, and you showed up right away. You saw the bike was in 3 pieces. You hauled it home, and it's funny, a year later we rebuilt it, and yeah, we documented all of that. So, brother, thank you so much, bro.
Pleasure,
like,
man.
really, I thought this thing was to go to the grocery store, maybe go to work, you know, to be crossing an entire state with it. It's really beautiful, bro. Yeah, that's very cool.
Since we're taking this day of rest here in Ellensburg, we're at this beautiful riverside park, and Squeaks, you can see, is tired today. He's taking his little nap every chance he gets. He slept in that hotel bed last night.
He conked out. Oh my gosh, the boys fell asleep with the lights on. That's how you know they were tired.
Right, thanks for turning those lights off, Soup. We would have slept through the night anyway. And so now we're gonna keep him in the trailer for the rest of the day, give him his day of rest, because he really just doesn't even tell us when he's tired. He doesn't like the trailer much still. He still protests getting in, and he'd prefer to be running, but I know based on how I see him acting right now that he needs his day of rest. And so maybe if we pick up on a good section of some not too rough gravel in a day or so here, then he'll be able to get out of the trailer and keep running alongside us on the leash. Where are we, bro? We're at the Kittitas County.
Say it.
No one knows. No one knows. I already told you, man. Wherever you are in the western states, however you think you should pronounce that town name, that's not how you pronounce it.
That ain't it.
That's not it. We've been saying it wrong. Thank you so much, Sadie. So the director of the museum has actually informed us the pronunciation is Kittitas, and that is named after the native people of this area. And in Kittitas County, we had the Milwaukee line, which is the PCTC route, which we've been riding our bike on. And here at the museum, they have this fun interactive map, which lights up along that Milwaukee line. That's that railroad line we rode yesterday. I'll tell you what, if you're riding from east to west, all these little dots are some tough bicycling terrain. That is uphill. That's that rugged section of gravel, big rocks, cut out of the rock face and tunnels cut out of the rock face. And that's where we came from yesterday, from the river. We got our water there in Doris, remember that? And so this is part of Kittitas County. Squeak sees a sign that says cafe. He's digging it.
We can get some croissants, breakfast sandwiches.
That's real neon, that's buzzing. I can hear it. Woohoo, those are beautiful. This giant old cast iron stove was on the back of a caboose on a train that ran on the same trail that we're riding on the Iron Horse Trail. And this was a really popular spot for the people working on the train because they could make their coffee and their food here on this stove. They called it the crummy. That's a crummy stove. So we've got our own tiny little version of that. This is what we're bringing on the route. Maybe in 100 years, this will be in the museum too. We mentioned the Palouse to Cascades Trail being a choose-your-own-adventure trail. If I were new to bikepacking, then I might recommend starting at the Thorpe Trailhead, which is just east of us here. From the Thorpe Trailhead, there's this really cool set of tunnels called the Thorpe Tunnels. And just past them, a few miles more, is a campground called Ponderosa Campground. And that's an official place where you're allowed to camp for the night, which a lot of the Palouse to Cascades Trail does not allow overnight camping. So you've got a campground at one end, it's only a few miles back on relatively even surface, and that could be a great overnight trip if you're new to bikepacking. And this tunnel was pretty short, and now that we know the Snoqualmie Tunnel is 2 miles long, then it's actually sounding kind of intimidating, especially all the mysterious reports they've been having there lately.
I'm a little spooked, bro. The Palouse to Cascades Trail was formerly the Milwaukee Line. We've seen lots of evidence of a railroad line, but we haven't seen any rail cars yet. We're in South Clay Elam, and we see that they knocked this caboose loose. We've seen some of these railway ties.
Yes, plenty of those. If you're looking for artifacts here on the trail,
these guys right here.
Dozens of them.
Yeah, all along the trail.
And some of these, I don't know, I'm not a railroad engineer, I don't know what these terms are, but...
That's a piece of wood.
Yeah, those chunks of wood.
Yeah, them chunky pieces of wood, we've seen a lot of those too. But no actual rail cars, so this was kind of cool.
Can we charge the, looks like there's still an outlet, Soup. Can we charge your e-bike battery on this one?
You know, I think if I twist the blue and red wire, it could be possible.
Let's give it a shot. No.
Just kidding, we're not gonna give it a shot.
One funny thing about riding an e-bike across the entire state, the Empire State, one funny thing
about riding an e-bike up the Empire State
building is that people might ask, why not just ride a motorcycle or a moped, right? Like they invented this before.
That's right.
Because
there's no motorized vehicles allowed. This is clearly marked along the entire route. We did manage to find a loophole, which is having a gas-powered generator in the back and riding an e-bike. So who doesn't love a good loophole when it applies to them? We're gonna take it, we're gonna keep moving with some power.
But wait, first though, what do you call a loophole when it is in reference to your e-bike?
A soup hole. Wow, you really walked me right into that one. You're always kidding me, Sparks.
All right.
Let's keep it moving.
Let's keep going. So we just learned that Soup's e-bike is electric powered. And here at this kiosk in South Clay Elam at the trailhead, believe it or not, some of these trains running on the Milwaukee Road were electrified. And unbelievably, they ran, it looks like, from 1915, 1916 era all the way into the 1970s. These electrified trains. Wow, I had no idea. So we're continuing the legacy.
That's right.
Running on electric power.
Yeah,
and
this part of the trail is still electrified.
And it's also powered by 4 legs and 2 legs too. Soup, we are on Sparks Road.
That's right, baby.
That's in Easton, Washington. It's a funky little town, this Sparks Road here. And we started our trip on Soup Road. And now we're on Sparks Road. I don't know if there's going to be a Squeaks Road.
It might be a Squeaky Avenue.
Squeaky Avenue, Squeaky Boulevard. Maybe even a Squeaky Way.
Definitely Squeaky Way.
And Squeaks, I've noticed something today. Since it's day 8, we've been going for a week now. Day 8, I've noticed a change in Squeaks' body language. Squeaks did not really want to get back on the trail after we just took a break here on Sparks Road. And so we're definitely giving him a break by letting him ride in the trailer. And the other thing I've noticed in his behavior is he's starting to see the trailer as a place to take a break. So he's a little more chilled out in there and doesn't seem to be having a problem with it. You can hear he's not protesting, he's not whining, and he can kind of relax in there and lay down. So he's even jumped in there this morning without me asking him to, and he laid down and took a break in there. So here we are at Sparks Road, learning more about Squeaks. Squeaks is learning more about the route. How many? 30 miles. We've just done 30 miles today, and we're just west of Lake Easton State Park, and we've got a total change in scenery out here. It's wooded, it's shaded, there's alders and aspen and pine trees all around. This is such a cool sign here. We have west of Easton, sharing the trail with dog teams. I love that there is a trail for alternative transportation here. We've got snowmobilers, cross-country skiers, snowshoers with dogs, and even dog sled teams. Don't forget skijorers. I don't know what a skijorer is. Maybe Squeaks and I'll try that one day. Really cool information here. Maybe we'll check it out with a sled dog team another day. It's late October, but everything's still vibrant and verdant. We're gonna make our way to Roaring Creek Campground tonight. We're just a couple miles out. Here comes Soup. See how he's doing. Is e-biking easy?
Bikepacking is miserable!
Bikepacking is miserable, he says. He said bikepacking is easy earlier. I don't think he's too miserable. Look at those mountain peaks ahead. Just 0.4 miles to the Snoqualmie Tunnel. It's a foggy morning. We spent our night at Roaring Creek Campground, and now we're at the Hayek Trailhead. The Hayek Trailhead is the closest access from the east side to the Snoqualmie Tunnel. I'm pretty excited because we're also only, 20 miles from the end of the trail. And then we've got another 7 miles we're going to ride into North Bend where our car is parked. So we're 27 miles from the total end of our journey. I'd be more excited, except it's a foggy morning, it's kind of spooky, and it's all the spookier from everything they've been saying about the tunnel and the creatures in the tunnel, which I don't exactly understand what they're talking about, but they say there's some kind of lights in there, and so they're going to close the tunnel down actually in a couple weeks because of the controversy.
We're on day 9 of our cross-state expedition, and right now we're pulling up to Snoqualmie Tunnel. This is a big deal for us because it's a major landmark, kind of like the Columbia River was. This tunnel took 5 years to build and 700 people to build it. So we're really grateful for all the effort that they put in to give us this passage.
And before we go in, there's some things you should know. We've got our layers on and we've got our lights on. I wouldn't just bring one light, I would bring a light and an extra, just like if you're bike packing, you got an extra spare light. And plenty of layers because it can get 20 plus degrees cooler inside this tunnel than it is outside. We're coming in now. Woo-wee. Scary dark tunnel. Ooh, and it's actually instantly colder. And there's a breeze in here too. Cold and windy in this tunnel.
High key, this Snoqualmie Tunnel is one of the creepiest places I've ever been. It doesn't help that we're close to Halloween,
but it is pitch black in here. It's like 20 degrees colder than it is outside, at least. You can see my breath and can't see much else. So, just gonna keep it moving, pray for safe travel. Everything's gonna be all right. I do kind of see something, but we're too close to the end of the tunnel. So, just gonna listen to what they said. Go towards the light. Oh my God. You saw that. I know you saw that. Some sort of creature from the underworld. Clearly. It's gotta be mixed with some sort of dingo or something. They didn't know it was a squeaky guy in Snoqualmie Tunnel. He's alright. He looks scary, especially when he's chewing on a bone or a soccer ball, but he's not scary at all. Hey, Squeaks.
No way, I see a sign! So, what did you just say 2 minutes ago?
I said this feels like Cedar Falls. I feel this feels like the beginning of our trip.
Wow, I can't really even believe it. And there's the sign.
Awesome, bro. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
We did it.
Yeah, we were here 9 days ago.
That's right.
Wow.
Wow. Wow is right. And I guess, so let's see, Cedar Falls Trailhead, that's it. So this is it. This is the end of the road. This is the end of the Palouse to Cascades Trail.
Let's go hit the park, bro.
What's that?
Let's go hit the park.
Let's go hang out in the park. I'm not used to turning off of the trail. It feels weird. I'm used to keep going. But here we are at Cedar.
That's it.
That's it. We made it. So let's keep moving. Let's go check out the park, have some fun. We're gonna celebrate.